Okay guys, here we are again. Wayne Payton here with the 98 Mustang GT. The one that hit the guardrail in the ice. My blog here is me, all about me rebuilding this car. I'm going to be welding a front clip on this car in a little one-car garage that I have here. I want everybody on YouTube to see this, so you can see that a one-car garage, there is plenty of room, plenty of space in a one-car garage to do anything that you want to do, guys. I work at a body shop full-time, and like I said, this is just my little one-car garage at home. You know, I have a small air compressor. There's another 4.6. That's a PI engine I'm going to be building before long. Have some stainless steel polished long tube headers for that one. However, my car that I'm currently is my daily, and it's this 98 SN95, which was a beautiful little straight car, as you can see. It's got the Saline S195 spoiler on the back of it. It's black. The car was all white. Spun out on some, roads were clear one morning. It had snowed about 1/2 inch about a month and a half ago, and there was no accumulation on the roads the next morning. But went over a bridge on the interstate, and bad luck for me, the bridge was froze. And the bridge was only about 50 feet across, and within 15 feet I was sideways. Counter steered it, crossed it up, got it back straight again. It was swinging too far the other way, counter steered it, saved it again, and it got sideways. And so when I came off the bridge, the car was like absolutely sideways in the road. And by then it was probably down to 15, 20, 25 miles an hour, and the nose just bumped into the guardrail, actually sliding with the nose horizontal like this. And as you can see on the corner here is where it made its first little bit of impact. And got the bumper pretty good. Got the headlight bucket real good. Got all the steel around the windshield washer jug and all that real good. As you can see, everything's creased up in here. Down in here, it's just a real bad way. See how creased the metal is and everything. Here's the fuse box and everything that was sitting down in this space. As you can see, I've already got my clip. And right here is where I'm going to be cutting the car. Let me get a flashlight to show you guys. I don't like to put the camera on myself, guys. I watch YouTube videos all the time. And when I watch a video about cars or how to do something on a car, I don't want to look at somebody's face for 5 minutes before they show me the video. Okay? This video is about how to cut a clip off the front of a car in front of the shock towers, and then weld a new clip on in front of the shock towers. The car didn't get hard enough to have to remove the shock towers. It just bent from here up, as you can see. As it goes to the right there. Just take a look at it. And then of course with this bumper being connected to the other side, then naturally it moves this rail over as well. As you can see, that's supposed to be straight, and it is not straight, as you can see. It makes a nice little turn to the left from where we're standing right now. So, as you can see here, I have everything tied up. The whole wire and harness. A lot of guys take this stuff off the car, which is just, in my opinion, ludicrous. When you can disconnect everything, get some mechanics wire, tie it up to the hood. I already put new hood hinges on the thing, so the hood's mounted nice and straight now. So just get some mechanics wire, tie your whole entire wiring harness up out of your way. This is the part that runs across the top of the condenser and the radiator. This stuff is a real pain in the butt to get off your car completely. And then if you take it off your car completely, then it looks like a big spaghetti-o mess when you get ready to try to put it back on the car and figure out where everything goes. I mean, eventually you do if you know what you're doing, but it's just a pain in the ass. Pardon my French. Now the way I do it here, as you can see, this whole harness, everything's unbolted, moved out of the way, all the plastic clips are removed, nothing's torn up or damaged, tied together, zip tied together. You can see the battery cables zip tied to the big cable housing, smaller cables, and the fuse box, see, zip tied to this harness. Everything, just kind of use your head a little bit. And then the main plastic harness runs across the top of the radiator and the air conditioning condenser. Like I said, you can see it's zip tied to an adjustable hood prop rod that I have. Now, I still have the factory hood prop rod on here right now just for some extra help. And then the condenser, my air conditioner works great on this car, even though it's a 98. About every 2 or 3 years, I put a little Freon in it, and that's about it. But the AC works great on this car. So no way, number one, was I going to break my AC line loose here and lose all my Freon and then have to either recharge it myself or take it to a shop and spend $120 for them to recharge it. And not only that, but you break those lines loose and you release all that R134A into the atmosphere. It goes straight up to the top of the atmosphere and increases the size of the hole in the ozone layer. So we won't be doing that. I'm a mechanic, by trade and by fun. I drag race these cars, but I'm still not going to hurt the environment. I'm not going to dump oil down by the creek in the backyard, just because nobody will see me. That's no way to be, guys. Do the right thing with everything when it comes to the ozone and the environment. Do the right thing, guys. It's important for your kids, your grandkids, your great-grandkids. But as you can see here, I just hooked some mechanic wire onto the condenser, on each side of it. Tie it up here to the top of your hood, tie it off to the hood prop rod, tie it to whatever you can tie it to. As you can see here, I've got it tied up there, and it holds the condenser up nice and out of the way on this side. Come over to this side, and there she is tied up again on this side, and it's hooked up all the way to the top, up there to the center of the hood where the little hole is. And then here is the hood release cable running all the way up through here, snaking around through here, and just tuck it into your hood pad, guys. Don't try to take the thing all the way off. It's ludicrous. Here's the windshield washer hose right here. Starts here. Now it should come on down here and hook up to the jug when it's in place, the new one. However, you don't want to take that thing all the way off, so just curve it back around. Put it in something that'll hold it out of your way. See? It's not damaged, but it's out of my way. Now, this harness here is the only one that's a real pain in the butt. You can't connect this section of the harness from the other section of the harness. See here? There's no connector. So all you can do when you get ready to make your cut here, when you measure on your front clip that you've already bought, which I did, they cut mine about here, about a good 1.5 inches out from the shock towers, which is great because I can just cut mine right down along the rivets and then take the part off that they had from the rivets and then just weld this thing back together rivet to rivet and check it with the level and take some X measurements under the car with a piece of string or a rope or what have you, and that's how you know if you got your front clip on square or not. And this car's pretty solid too if you look at it for 98. You don't see very many cars this solid 98 with no rust, but that's a testament to Ford and their undercoating. But like I said again, this wiring harness here, which is on this side of the car, goes to the horns. Just that one there, the big white stupid one, goes to an airbag, and then the little clip here, I forget what it goes to. The windshield washer motor, that's what it goes to. Yeah. But anyway, to get this one out of the way, to pull the clip off the front of the car, you have to actually cut a notch out of this top part of the rail here. Just cut your little cut in there, cut another little cut, slide this harness right here up out of there. And then when you make this cut down through here, which is going to be like right down through here on these rivets. I don't know if you can see them, but I know you can see that line. That's where she's going to get cut. And I'm just going to cut it with a Sawzall. No problem. You just have to make sure and not cut your brake lines. See the brake lines down there? Don't cut the brake lines. Okay? And here's some brake lines again. See the little brake line there? There's the rail right there. And this is about approximately where it's going to be cut, right down this line here where this little rusty spot's at the bottom. So you see how close the proximity the brake line is when you get to the bottom of the rail there. See that? Don't cut your brake lines if you ever do something like this. But you don't have to take your car to a body shop and spend $5 grand. When you get a little fender bender, this car needed, I had to buy a driver's side fender, a front bumper, which I had the original bumper, GT bumper. I had a Cobra bumper on it when it had the accident. So I'm just going to put the GT bumper back on it since it's the same color. And all I had to buy was a left fender, driver's side fender. I had to buy a pair of headlights and parking lights. Had to repair a little spot on the corner of the hood on the driver's side. And then just some odds and ends, I bought a couple of new horns. I bought a new windshield washer, squirter jug. Both my airbags deployed, so I got an airbag for the passenger side here. It's got the molding on it as well, so you can make your dash look good again. And then, of course, I got the airbag for the center of the steering wheel. These things need to be cleaned up, but they will be very adequate. And then, as you can see, like I said, it looks kind of crazy with everything tied up. You got the condenser tied up out of the way. You got all the wiring harnesses tied up out of the way. And yeah, it looks crazy, but the thing is, like I said, once I make this cut over here, and then make this cut right here, up and down that corner, as you can see, then this front clip will basically, I can grab it with a couple of dollies or jack stands under it, or maybe a couple of little carts with wheels. And then as soon as I make that last cut, I'll be able to just slide this thing right out the front of the car, because there will be nothing holding it. Nothing. Everything's disconnected from the front section of this car. The air conditioning condenser is just hanging here. As you can see, the radiator's completely out of the car. The only thing I have to do is take out these 2 bolts here to get the bumper off on this side. See them? And then over here, where the bumper got bent, we'll take off 2 bolts on this side. You can see the one here, right here, and then up here you have another one. See at the top. You get those, and you can get the big bumper off here. And then what that does is it disconnects it where the front of the rails aren't connected together anymore, and it makes it a lot easier when you're sawing the car, because it's more flexible once you remove this bumper. The radiator support is still holding both aprons together, but the radiator support is not near as rigid as it is normally with this bumper on the front. They call it a rebar, but I don't know why. I call it a freaking bumper because that's what it is. But just the bumper, and I got one little bolt here I need to take out. These are the a lot of guys think that this thing is the oil cooler. It is not an oil cooler. What this does, this little cooler here, it cools the hydraulic fluid for the hydro boost on the Mustangs. Okay, the hydro boost operates the power steering as well as the power brakes. The hydro boost is a really good design, I think. I've been driving Mustangs for the last 10 years, SN95s and New Edge Mustangs. Every one of them have had hydro boost, and I have never, not even on one of those cars in an entire 10 years ever, knock on wood, ever had any problems with the hydro boost system. And the thing I love about it is there's no big gawky gigantic spaceship looking brake booster sitting right there taking up 9 miles of your under hood room. This is your hydro boost unit right here. See this thing? It's hydraulic, regular hydraulic fluid. The ingenious idea yet again from Ford. You see all these lines and everything right here. Some of them are for power steering, some of them go to brakes. But the thing is, you put the fluid in regularly right here. It has a master cylinder, just like anything else. And I guess this thing right here has something to do with brake pressure or boost or something for brake pressure. But like I said, there is no big gigantic goofy who wants to deal with it brake booster, which I have replaced several of those in my time on GM cars. And what a bitch. A pain in the ass to replace a big giant brake booster. Not only are they a pain in the butt to change, but the dang things are about $300 or $400 also if you get a new one. And I mean, who wants to go through all that work and put a used part on there that might go bad next month? But anyway, guys, again, we'll just do a quick little walk around to the car here so you guys can see that the car altogether is not a piece of crap. This is a beautiful car. I just picked up, I did have a 17 by 9s all the way around with 255/40 ZR17s. And in the accident, I was at a place buying used Mustang stuff, and a guy had all kinds of Mustang parts, wheels, everything for sale. So I picked up a couple of American Muscle deep dish rear wheels, 17 by 10.5s, and the guy had already put a couple of decent tires on them, Nexons, radials, the 3000s, I think they are. Yeah, the N3000s. And like I said, they're the 10.5s, 17 by 10.5s, and these are 17 by 9s. And what I'm going to do is just get some anthracite or graphite paint, and then of course scuff the spokes on all four wheels, and then mask off the polished bead on the rear wheels as well as the front wheels. And then I'm going to paint the spokes graphite or anthracite, and then leave the beads polished, because you can see I had polished wheels on all four corners. One wheel got bent in the wreck, so that only left me with three. I looked for one replacement and couldn't find it, like one of these wheels, because these are ZR bullet wheels. So I'll just run two out of my three ZR bullets on the front, and I'll run the American Muscle deep dish bullets on the back. And like I said, I'll tape off the polished lip on all four wheels, and just paint the spokes anthracite or graphite on all four wheels, and then I'll probably do the center caps in a silver color, maybe some sort of a Mustang logo in the center of them. Just something that looks, okay, not tacky. But yeah, it's just the only thing I want to show you guys. Also, we've got a louver on the back of the car. It's a pretty nice louver, and I like the way the louvers look on the SN95s. I think it gives them the nostalgic car look. Here's the Saleen S195 rear wing. Of course, everybody's going to these on the SN95s and on the new edges now. And as you can see, the little car, like I said, she's very clean, very straight. And as soon as I get the front clip welded on the car, which should be in the next 2 to 3 days. Well, actually, this clip will be cut off the car. It is about 6 a.m. right now on Thursday morning, January the 7th. And probably after I get some sleep this afternoon at 3 or 4 o'clock, I'll probably go at it again and then cut this clip off this car, because it will be ready completely. Like I said, the only bolts I've got left are the 4 bumper bolts and 2 bolts for the oil cooler for the hydro boost, and that's it. And then I'm ready to get the Sawzall out and cut this bent up, nasty looking front clip off this car. And I already got my front clip picked up. It's on my trailer outside in the driveway. So it's ready to be welded on as soon as I get this one cut off. And then I don't know about you guys, but taking a car apart after an accident like this takes me about 4 times longer, because I'm trying to keep up with all the parts, find the bolts, find the nuts, find the clips that you have to transfer to your other parts and all that, and it just takes a long time to do all that. Plus, you have to be extra careful moving your wiring harnesses and everything that's vital around, because you don't want to break anything or bend anything, make it inoperable, and just make the situation worse. Trying to fix the car here, not hurt the car. So, like I said, that's the reason I tie the wiring harness complete up out of the way. And I remove the radiator, since that's simple. I remove the fan, since that's simple. However, I don't remove the AC condenser, because then you lose your Freon, and that hurts the environment. But mainly, that costs you $120 to go get some more Freon put in the thing. So, I'll just tie my air conditioning condenser up out of the way, and then when I cut these 2 cuts on each side of this front clip, me and my son will grab it. He's 16. We'll grab it on each side and just walk right out the front of the car with it. A front clip on a car like this with nothing else attached to it, it's only about 100 pounds, 120 pounds, extremely light. And then I'll make an actual box frame sleeve, 1 inch by about 2 inches, about 11, 12 inches long, slide it into the frame, into the car, about 6 inches. So I'll have about 6 inches protruding on each side. So when we walk into it with the other clip to go on the front of the car, we just let those two little smaller box frames that are protruding out of the factory frame slide right in to the frame on the front clip, the same way they did sliding in to the part of the front clip after we cut it. I don't know if you get what I'm saying here or not, but you more or less you make a splint to go in the frame between both pieces of the car. And then that way after you weld it, you don't have just a butt weld for all your strength. There's actually a piece of steel in the center that will get welded when you weld, and also after you're done welding completely, check your car with your level and your X measurements and everything about 5 times, 6 times while you're doing that job to make sure you're keeping everything straight. But, if you do that, everything will probably turn out good. And, it's always worked out good for me. The first one I did, nobody ever showed me nothing. I saw a guy at a body shop do it one time, looked at a couple books, watched a couple of TV shows, had an accident in my car when I was 17 years old. Didn't have any money, I was a kid, didn't even have a garage at home. Drug my car up in the backyard and took all the bent parts off of it. Took me months, to accrue the good parts, but I did it. And had the car back together eventually and driving it again. And it looked the same way it did before I crashed it. Even drove just as good, which is the end result when you attempt to do a good job. But anyway, guys, Wayne Payton, 1133 at gmail.com, signing off here. I'll be making another video tomorrow, like I said, cutting the clip off the car. And then we'll have another video the next day, welding the other clip back on the car. And then there'll be a final video or two of putting everything back together and actually doing a little painting, and then getting the car out of the garage and on the road, seeing the final product. So I'll be posting these videos on YouTube in the next couple of days. Like I said, today's January 6th, second video I've made. So I'll get them posted before long. And hey, if you guys like it, hit like, hit subscribe, whatever else. I don't know much about it. Internet's crap, but I sure can build a car. So if you want to know how, watch my videos, and you can know too. Take it easy, guys.